Alright, so it's day 7 of the rehydrating your starter. When I got home from market last night, I was too tired to deal with handling the starter, so I just put a lid on it, threw it in my fridge. So you can see it kind of dried out a touch, but it's all still okay once you stir it up. So I know that I have, typically at this point, you would discard and take however much. Typically, if I'm going to put it in the fridge, I'll put 50 grams of starter, 50 grams of flour, and 50 grams of water. Mix it up, put a cloth down so you're not having metal next to your sourdough starter, because anything fermented will react with metal. So I put a cloth, just the muslin cloth, down, put a solid canning lid, and put the ring on, and stick it in the fridge. And then you can pull it out once a week. What I used to do is I'd pull it out on Thursday night, I would feed it. Friday morning I would discard and feed. Friday evening I would mix my dough. And in this heat, you're gonna give it 2-3 hours, kind of watch your dough. Once you've done your stretch and folds and you have the right elasticity in it and it's fermented enough, then you can shape it and put it in the fridge. In the winter, a lot of times I'll let it bulk ferment overnight, and then shape it Saturday morning, put it in the fridge, and I don't bake until Sunday evening for it because I give it a 48 to 72 hour ferment. But then once you mix your dough on Friday evening, you can just feed your starter a 1-1-1 ratio, so that's 50 grams starter, 50 grams flour, 50 grams water, and then put it in the fridge. Because I want to try making a loaf with this right now to show you guys what it looks like when you make a loaf right off the first bat, right after 7 days. Matt, please don't make the camera wiggle. I'm going to just go ahead and feed this with the 75 grams that's in here, because we had 30 grams water, 30 grams flour, and 15 grams starter. So that makes 75 grams, and I'm going to feed it at a 1-2-2 ratio. So 75 grams means 150 grams flour, 150 grams water, and mix it up. And then I'm going to go ahead and once it doubles in size, I will go ahead and mix up bread, let it bulk ferment, shape it, put it in the fridge, and when I get it baked this week, I'll post pictures for you so that you can see it and see what it does for a loaf. Because I know I need 100 grams for a loaf, and I also want to try a new recipe just to sample. I'm going to make sure I have 200 grams of starter minimum in here. So I'm going to go 75 and feed a 1-2-2 ratio, so 75, 150, 150. That gives me a little over 300 grams of starter, which will leave me some in my jar left over to feed and put in the fridge. So if that was total foreign language and doesn't make sense, go ahead and leave me a question in the comments and I'll help you out. But I'm going to start here. I know I have 75 grams, so I'm going to add 150 grams of flour. And I do my 20% wheat, the rest all-purpose, unbleached all-purpose. And yes, I go through enough flour, so my flour's in a 5-gallon bucket. That's why I'm bending down to grab some, because I don't want to set a 5-gallon bucket on the table. And then we're going to add our water. And then just mix it up really well, scrape your sides. So sweet, grab me a Sharpie over there. And you want it to be a thick paste-like consistency once you get done mixing it. and you've got your starter. It's kind of trying to find where it's at. So it's kind of right here, average. I don't know if you can see it. You can't see my mark very well. There you go. I will post a picture after it doubles, or at least I'll try to remember to in the comments so you can see what it looks like doubled. And then when I get the bread made up, I'll post pictures in the comments as well of that so you can see what a full loaf looks like after you've rehydrated it. At this point, you can use your discard for anything, like discard crackers. There's a million different discard recipes. I typically don't have discard because I turn my discard into another starter so that I have enough for the week, just because I bake on such a large scale. But otherwise, they make really good pancakes too. It's good to, like, just instead of having flour and an egg mixture, you can just have a bowl of sourdough starter and take your cut up chicken, dip it in that, throw it in some oil, and fry it up to make popcorn chicken or chicken strips. I've done that. I was trying to think what else I did with discard before I quit using discard. I pretty much just use, discard is just another name for starter that you haven't fed. So you can always just feed it and make another starter. You can freeze a little bit of it to have a backup. You can dehydrate it to have a backup. There's a lot of things you can do with it. If you have questions, shoot me a message, drop something in the comments, and I'd be happy to help you. I hope you have a great day.